No scoping. That's crappie.
Look at that. Scott's got the big ones figured out.
That's crappie now. Oh, man.
Look at that fish.
I mean, is that the same fish I caught and let go?
Is it a black nose?
No.
Hey anglers and anglerettes. It's a blustery, cold, windy, don't knock my camera over, cold day out, and I mean it's really windy. I can hear it roaring out here, so there's really not much for me to do. But today I thought I would just let you guys in on the spinning rig that I like to use when I'm just casting for crappie. There's a couple as far as the length or whatever, but the main one that I use, if I'll be able to do this, is the main one I like is this one right here. Is the 6/6 one-piece ACC crappie stick right there. I mean that thing, to me, the 6/6 is just the best all-around spinning rod, because I'll use it for not only crappie but white bass and smallmouth and walleye or whatever. But today we're going to talk about crappie. And I know that you're just saying, well, I realize that ACC, you know, they're sponsored, you know, you get them and this, that, and the other, so you're going to talk about them or whatever. Well, let me tell you, before I even consider using anybody's products, and this has even been way back in the day when I was with some large companies or whatever, using their equipment or whatever, I mean, I at least had to believe in it. I had to at least like them before I would, you know, highlight them or brand them or at least talk about them. And so the reason why, this is my reason right here for the ACC crappie sticks, is the weight. I have bad arthritis in my thumb, and so my hands give out. And so the lightness, so the weight of these is what I like about them. And you think, well, I mean, they're so light, but how stout are they or whatever. I don't have any trouble with if I'm going after even bigger fish. And we've got some of the biggest white bass you'll ever see anywhere. And I mean, I'll just yank them dudes just right up out of the water and into the boat. Same thing with the smallmouth, same thing with walleye or whatever else that we're fishing with. So I'm not worried about the strength of the rod. I just really like the weight, and I just like that it's really just balanced out good for me. And this is everything I'm talking about, and anything that I do in these videos this is my opinion. This is what works for me. These new reels that they have now, this is Abu Garcia, this is a Revo SX, and these things are so light. Just right out of the box, you pick them up. They're not like the old days right here, you know. These old reels right here, you talk about heavy. Now these are really light, and there's no reason for me to use a great big old reel or whatever if I'm fishing for crappie. I'll just use the smaller ones, like the size 10 or a 1000, whatever. The smaller ones, got plenty of line. I'm not gonna be making 300-yard casts or anything. So this just adds to the whole setup and how comfortable it is and how light it is to use. And then I let the rod load up and take the pressure off of my hands in fighting the fish.
Ooh. Got it. Mm-hmm. Crappie. How about that? Man, all right.
So these rods really hold up well. They fight the fish in good. They're sensitive, and this is the reason why I choose them. So now let's talk about. I use 2 crappie baits. This is what I've been using, and the first one is right here, and these are from Lucky Strike. Now, once again, There are so many great baits out there. I mean, it's amazing how many really cool baits that there are out there, and they'll all catch crappie. Once again, this is what I'm using. This is my preference right now. And my swimming bait is right here, Swimming Minnow, and they're from Lucky Strike. And this is my old buddy Jeff Williams, who you guys have over the years probably seen us doing shows with and everything else. Jeff's a really good friend of mine. He teamed up before Toby Keith had passed away that they had purchased the Lucky Strike company, and so naturally I'm in. I'm gonna help them and want to use their baits, and they catch fish. So right here is the Swimming Minnow, and that dude right there now in 2.5 inch or a 2 inch, lots of different colors. That is a fish catching dude for me. It will catch fish. I love this bait. And when these fish sometimes will get a little finicky, and you all know how they are, they'll get that way. Sometimes you gotta add a little something different to where these fish will want it. And so, with Lucky Strike here, I know you've heard the name before as far as this bait, and this is the scrounger. See that top lip on there? That's called the scrounger head. And that gives it that action that's going this way. And sometimes that erratic action just may be all you need in order to get to trigger that bite out of that crappie. Now, you don't want to use like the Swimming Minnow with a curly tail or something with a paddle tail or whatever on there, because you'll take away from the action on this scrounger. So you just need a straight tail is all you need. And what I have on here is the Lucky Strike Lucky Bug. And this is a good bait. So this right here is the scrounger head. That works great with that straight tail on that Lucky Bug. Now, I'll tell you this about scroungers. If you're using the box so you can watch your fish and see fish and all that other stuff, that scrounger is going to drop a lot slower than just a traditional jig head, your round head, or whatever else. So I would certainly take note of that. Now, the line is just about on all my poles. Every one of them. I like this new ACC braided line right here. That's in the 10-pound. It's got a real thin diameter. I mean, I really like that. It's stout. Sometimes I feel like I could hook it to the cleat of the boat and pull another boat with it. Sometimes it's a stout. But it really works good. I can really feel the bite on it. And in this clear water like we have in the Ozarks, sometimes I will put about a 3-foot fluorocarbon leader, maybe a 6-pound or whatever on that.
Got him. Look at it in that pretty clear water. Look over here, Wes.
That's a beaut.
Look at there in that water. I mean, come on.
But that is this is the reason. Now you know the reason why I'm using it. Not only are they great rods in the ACC and the Abu Garcia, I do it mainly for physical reasons. This is just my thumbs give out. If I'm doing a jerkbait, my hands will cramp up. So I just have to have the weight fit the way my hands can handle it. So that's what it is. The 6.6, I'm gonna tell you, ACC, it's a great all-around rod. Sometimes I'll use the 6-footer in that, just depending on my method of how I'm, if I can get up over a pile and just kind of pitch down or whatever, a lot of times I'll just use the 6 foot. But that 6.6 is my main go-to. As far as the other crappie, like I said, the Swimming Minnow or the Lucky Bug and the Lucky Strike, along with the ACC braided line, the Abu Garcia Revo reels. That's my setup. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. And I know it's windy outside. I feel like I was a little windy on this, but I hope you hung around and watched it. And at least now you know why I'm using what I'm using to catch crappie when I'm casting. And I think if you try them, I think you may like them too. But there are a lot of good ones out there. I'm not going to talk bad about anybody, but these are the ones I use. Hey, thank you. See you on the water, and good fishing out there.
Got him.
He was off the bank just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
I said, that'd be the female.
Daddy.
Oh
Could be a good-
my goodness. Look at the size of that crappie. You want me to net it or are you going to flip it? Look at the size of that crappie.
Wow. I mean, that's a really
You must be living right,
nice
Scott.
crappie right there. Big black nose crappie. That is a dandy.